I'm a bad mood, gotta keep it tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government, stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. I'm out to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey guys, it's Squid. Welcome back to the channel. How is everybody doing on this sunny but cold as hell Sunday morning? So we are going to read part 2 of the deposition, the redo where Bubble Brain had to travel to Florida. And helping me out today is my girl Georgie.
Hi, everybody.
Huh?
I said, hi, everybody.
Uh.
Good morning, sister.
Someone told me there's a Sunday morning party here, you know, bubbles and stuff. Well, I figured that, I wanted to stay up and listen to Megan and Tug last night. I just called her Meg. She doesn't go by Meg. Don't call her Meg. I just can't say Megan this morning, apparently. I just can't stay up that late anymore. The only way I can stay up that late is if I'm streaming, because then I'm actually actively talking and not just listening. And so I'm like, let's do it in the morning. That way everybody who is like me and old as hell and has an early bedtime can hear it. So this is the part 2. Hey Dad, good morning. Hey Patty, and hi everybody. Lemon Honey, Dennis, Jen, the Lightning Mod, Gary. How is Portugal this morning? Yeah, those late nights are tough. And it's like, hey Chet, I can't do late nights either. Like, I was laying next to the little, putting her to bed last night, and I almost passed out next to her. And I'm like, I can't actually watch this tonight. I'm not going to have a good morning if I try to stay up. So
I was barely functioning in my stream last night.
yeah, that's why it was like, well, I want to do it in the morning for people who are like me and can't stay up. And I figured, why not ask you? Because one, you read the first deposition, so you understand everything that was said in the first one and why there was a second one.
Yes.
And secondly, this is going to sound very petty of me, and it is. The fleas will hate the fact that you have access to the second deposition.
Absolutely. Not only that, but they have this hard on for you too. So it's gonna.
And here's the thing. The other reason that she's on my stream, and she's the only one on my stream, is the fact that they get us confused and say we are the same person.
All the time.
We are not the same person. I literally cannot do this. I might have a few skills of trickery and behind backscene shenanigans, but like, I cannot be somebody else on a stream at the same time I'm streaming. So I figured, what better way to prove that we are not the same person than to have her as the only other person on my stream. So that, you know.
They're still dumb enough that they'll continue to.
It's just, it was weird to me. Like, I don't get the fact that, like, how do you think we're the same person? Because obviously we aren't. So where is my, there we go. I had to open up and I opened it up and I did something with it. Like, and I don't know what I did with it.
Captain Kane. He said, okay, which of you is AI? We all know it's a conspiracy.
Isn't it? It's such a conspiracy. I know. I think I closed preview and that was what was, there we go. There we go. Now I can make it bigger. So for those of you, this is not on Pacer. This is not on anything. So it is public. However, it is not on Pacer. I asked. I emailed, I reached out, not sure if I would get a response, and I got a response. This is a certified copy. So this is the actual document. It's just not oh, come on, Squid. I can tell you're the same person. You sound just alike. Yeah. A Youper and an Alabaman. Whoa. So do you want to be Jeremy in this situation? Because I've kind of figured out that I can be Bubbles without losing brain cells.
Lucky you, because every time I read as that moron, I lose brain cells.
Plus, it gives me the opportunity to sound like a whiny bitch. So when I go back and I talk to, my friends in real life and my family and Mr. Squid, and I deal with, play with baby squid and all that, I don't whine because I get my whininess out here.
Okay, if you're doing Bubbles and I'm doing Jeremy, who's the judge and who's the court reporter?
I will be the court. When Brad and I did it, he was Jeremy and Shockit, and I was Bubbles and the court reporter. So when they get to the basically the direct or cross examination, or basically direct where Shockit's asking questions, I'll be Shockit. So we'll figure it out.
This starts off with the judge, so
do you want to be the judge?
I don't care. You just direct me where you want me to go.
All right. And this is all the exhibits.
Yes.
Sorry, I actually had to read it because that word was not coming to my brain this morning. People are out for control recently. I think I'm being targeted because I like to watch your show or others. It's weird. And Stats, you and I have seen each other in live streams that have nothing to do with Jeremy Hales, nothing to do with this situation. I saw you in a random stream that was someone that if we said the name of that person on this stream, they would have no idea who we were talking about. So like I saw you in a stream talking about some completely other things besides this, so you're good. And once again, this is not you watch the Fleas, you watch me, you watch Jeremy Hales. I don't care if you agree with everything that I say. I don't care if you like me or not. As long as you're respectful, you're welcome here. And do I get emails saying this person is this person is, this person is seen here? I don't care. My mods know that if you get disrespectful to me, my guest, or any of them, you will get timed out. So it's one of those things of like, y'all be respectful to each other. And if you guys have problems with each other, we're all grown adults. It's time we act like it, and you can block each other. So the only time people will get timed out is if they are disrespectful to me, my guest, or my mods. You don't F with my mods. You don't F with my mods. Ask Flashfan what happens when people mess with my mod. I get very personal and defensive. So I am Viking. I hold Banhammer. Yes, and it's only a 24-hour timeout. So you'll get timed out and you will be back. So you are more than welcome as long as you are respectful. I don't care what side of the topic you feel like you fall on, or if you're somewhere in the everybody sucks personality. Just be respectful with your opinion. All right, let me take a drink before we get this going. All right, starting out, for those of you who don't know, and I know most everybody knows, but just for sake of argument, because of what happened and everything that went down in the last deposition, there was a redo, which has to be done in front of the judge, because nobody acted like an adult and everybody acted like toddlers, and the judge has to act like, the teacher and tell everybody what they can and can't do. So it's good. Does that mean I can't troll Georgie? So this is done in Pensacola, in person, not over Zoom, and the judge is present because we couldn't act like adults and get this done right the first time. And everybody knows my opinion on that. So I'm not going to repeat it.
Baby bird!
Yeah, your birds are acting foolish today.
Baby bird.
And I always say, and to those people who are in my chat, even though you're my friends and I like you and I know you, and please be respectful to those of you who, even if you don't agree with someone and you don't like someone, please be respectful if they are being respectful to you. If they get disrespectful to you, by all means, go on. But please be respectful. Handle that shit outside of my chat, please. My chat is not the place to tell. Yeah, my chat is not a safe space by any means. You will hear things on my streams that you may not like. However, we don't attack people here. So, all right. Good morning, everyone. We're here today for a partial redeposition in the matter of Hales versus Preston. Case number bloody blah. Mr. Hales is present with Mr. Shockett. Mr. Matzkin is present on behalf of the defendants. So, Mr. Hales, would you go ahead and take the witness stand here beside me? There's a water bottle up here for you. And then, Mr. Matzkin, you can remain at counsel's table there to ask questions. I understand you're giving him an exhibit book, but if at any time you need to show him something, the Elmo is in front of you at the lectern, and you can use that, and Mr. Hales and Mr. Shockett will be able to see what is in front of you. Make sure that everyone, and then for the court reporter, it may be best if they're at the lectern to ask the questions. Okay, Mr. Matzkin, actually, it sounds like for the court reporter, it may be better if you come to the lectern and ask your questions. So you don't need to do that yet, but when you're ready to start questioning, if you would come to the lectern, that would be most helpful for the court reporter. Oh. And I don't know why, but I am very, coffee this morning. So
Congested, yeah.
Excuse me while I, I will be back in a quick second. There we go. Hopefully that helps.
Good morning, everybody.
And everyone, please make sure that you speak clearly for the benefit of the court reporter. We're not going to speak over one another. And I wonder what his tone was when he said this, because he strikes me as the type where it's like, I told y'all once, we're not going to do this. So if you do this, I'm going to put my foot up your proverbial butt. And I'm going to be the puppet. I'm going to be the puppet master, only it's going to be my foot up your butt.
I feel like he's got one of those deep, stern voices, one of those dad voices.
Not really. We can go over this on another stream when we're done, depending on how long this takes us. But I've watched interviews of him. That's how I know how his name is Belitho, not Belitho. Is I watched an interview that he did. So he doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like any he doesn't sound like Tug, let's put it that way. Where Tug has that when you hear his voice, it's Tug.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that kind of voice to me, but he seems to have this presence, and that's why when Jeremy popped on my stream and I was able to ask him 3 questions. I asked him, I didn't really ask him about his situation. I asked him about the judge because I want to know about the judge, if he has that presence I think he had when he did interviews. So that's it was one of those I want to know what he thought of the judge. So I asked Jeremy questions, and 2 out of my 3 questions I think were about the judge and not about Jeremy. So Squid just has the hots for the judge. There's a reason we call him Judge McDreamy. I mean, come on.
He's pretty.
He's pretty.
He's very pretty.
All right. Mr. Hales, make sure that you wait for Mr. Matzkin to finish asking a question, and then you can begin. And then, Mr. Matzkin, you need to make sure that Mr. Hales has finished his answer until you can ask the next question. We're not going to have interrupting. That makes it very difficult for the court reporter. And so I just encourage you to take a pause between answering the question to allow the court reporter to make sure she has everything down. So we're going to proceed as though this is a normal deposition. That means if there is an objection, Mr. Shockett will make the objection for the record, and then the witness will answer unless the basis for the objection is privileged, in which point Mr. Shockett may instruct the witness not to answer. And just so we're all clear, privilege is the only basis on which a witness may not answer a question during a deposition. As I mentioned in our pre-hearing discussion, if you have an objection to form, please object to form, and then succinctly say a basis. No need for a speaking objection, but something such as objection to form, leading, or objection, form, compound question. That helps me greatly at a later date if I have to rule on the objections in the deposition. I want you to everyone, to just pretend as though I'm not here. I do not intend to intervene. That should come in later. I intend to be a potted plant and to simply make sure that things go appropriately in this deposition. I expect that they will, and I don't think we'll have any problems. I don't think I'll need to intervene, but if there are problems, I will intervene. No one needs to ask me to intervene. I don't want to be asked to intervene. If I think I need to intervene, I will. Again, I don't think I'll need to, but as I mentioned to the parties before we came into court, because we are here in the courtroom and I am present, my summary criminal contempt authority applies under Title 28, U.S. Code 636E2. I certainly don't have to use it, but if necessary, I will. Yeah, famous last words there, Judge. And for those of you who don't know, this is, I don't have his, this is what I used, so Find U.S. Courts has, I'm going to stop this screen real quick. So this is his communication preferences and his preferences for what he likes to do in court. So U.S. District or find.uscourts.gov will give you all this information about any judge that you want. Hey Yoda, how are you feeling today?
Yoda!
So, and here is his picture. Let's see. This is the judge. Need I say more? He's very young for being a federal judge. So, let's, there's a reason why we call him Judge McDreamy. Because we always have nicknames for judges. The Tuft of Justice in Florida. We always have nicknames for judges because it's fun. However, that is definitely a easy on the eyes judge. I won't tell you.
His eyes, though.
He looks a lot like Mike, Magic Mike. That is.
Exactly, Stats. Exactly.
Oh. Oh, Yoda, I'm so sorry. Oh, oh boy. It's the black robe, but he wasn't wearing a black robe in that he looks like he's never changed a tire in his life. I can't, okay. Let's getting back to the reason why we're here. Oh yes, today is Uncle Frank's birthday.
I thought that was yesterday.
Yeah, I did too. So I misspoke when I said it, but it's today. It's the 12th. I misspoke. I thought it was the 11th, but I misunderstood Yoda when he was talking to me what he was talking about. Yeah, and after he witnessed this depo, he probably thought, well, there goes any future SCOTUS nomination for me. Here's the thing. If you can put up with these personalities and the combination of personalities, not to say that, like, if Jeremy was in a different situation, obviously we've seen him on videos. He's very, like, he has that personality of, like, not a court, wait, like like the host Wayne Brady on the show he hosts, that game show. What's that game show that Wayne Brady hosts? The where people dress up in the audience. Let's make a deal.
Yeah.
Where you have to be very, like, personable and, like, have this big personality to do your job. So being a YouTuber who does certain things, he has that very, like, it's hard to describe. Yes, outgoing, loud, like, not obnoxious is not the word for it, but, like,
it's a catch your attention type.
yes, there, right,
right
yeah,
here.
like Price is Right, like, you have to have that very, like, catch attention and keep attention. Where maybe in a different situation, that's great. Like on his YouTube channel, that's great, but maybe that is hard to rein in. I don't know him personally. I don't know. But maybe that might be hard to rein in when you're in this situation, especially over the last 3 years of drama. And then you put all these personalities who don't get along in one small room. It's very yes, animated. Thank you. That was the word I was trying to.
Would you two shut
Animated. Yes, larger than life. Thank you. I couldn't come up with a word that I was trying to yes. So having that animated personality is great in there. I don't know how much that was reined in or wasn't reined in. So having all these personalities in a in a situation, if the judge can deal with all that, I think a Supreme Court nomination would be, like, very appropriate. Because if you can deal with all these personalities, Supreme Court is nothing. Like, right? He does have that thinner, younger look of Jeremy. Yeah, they look like they could be related. They're not, obviously.
I didn't look at anything but the eyes. Okay, once I saw those blue eyes, it was over with for me.
He's got that Florida skin, though. Like, you can tell he's spent some time in the sun. So, just make me a little jealous. Hey, I'm late. Had to go to the store for hot ham Sunday. Hot ham and rolls after church was always a thing. Mr. Matzkin, we've set aside 2 hours for your questioning of Mr. Hales, and that 2 hours does include breaks. So if you need a break at any point, Mr. Hales, you ask for a break. Mr. Matzkin, if you need a break, or Mr. Shockett, you need a break, just ask for it. We'll take a brief recess. Also, if you need more water or anybody needs more water, you can get more water. Any questions, Mr. Matzkin, before we begin? No, thank you. Mr. Shockett? You're up.
Briefly, just because we're in a courtroom, you're definitely not a potted plant. Do I need to stand for objection?
You may. Since I'm not going to be ruling on it, you can just object. Make sure that you just do it loud enough for the court reporter to hear. And Madam Court Reporter, if you need anybody to slow down, or you need anybody to pause, or you don't hear anybody, just let us know, okay? Thank you. Mr. Hales, any questions?
No, sir.
All right. So, Mr. Hales, you'll need to be sworn, I imagine. So, Mr. Matzkin, I'm just going to turn it over to you. You pretend I'm not here, and you run a deposition as you would take depositions whenever you're ready. Thank you. Can you swear the witness, please? Sir, would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give in this case, in this cause today, shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I'm not a troll, but I am watching. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you. You know that.
I do.
Like, All right. Jeremy B. Hales was called as a witness and, after having been first duly sworn, was deposed and testified as follows. Direct examination. Good morning, Mr. Hales. You have in front of you a pile of exhibits, correct?
Yes.
A pile. Oh, okay, not to interrupt, but a pile. That's like there's better ways to phrase that. You have a binder full of exhibits, or like that just sounds unorganized. A pile. Like, sorry. And can you look at Exhibit 78, please? Do you have that in front of you?
Yes.
Defendant's Exhibit number 78 was marked for identification. Do you claim that this exhibit contains a defamatory statement about you?
Objection to form competency.
Do you want me to rephrase the question?
I would like time to actually read it. I'm done reading if you'd like to proceed.
Do you claim that this exhibit contained a false statement about you?
Yes.
What is the false statement?
I see multiples.
What is one of them?
Bullied our town clerk into a stroke.
What is another one of them?
Bullied and belittled and humiliated, destroyed my tortoise rescue with total lies.
And what is another one, if any?
Called CPS with false allegations 7 times.
Did you not call CPS?
I called CPS 1 time over a concern that I had.
Is there any other false statements in this exhibit?
All because I read for a seat. He thought I might get over Therese Granger, who at the time I thought was my friend.
Any others?
Everything he said about the people in Otter Creek is a lie.
Any others?
Not about me.
And how has those false statements damaged you or caused you harm?
Jesus, notifications. So the the defamatory false statements have caused loss in my business.
Nanny Goat brings up a good point. Pile was meant to be derogatory as it was all the evidence that BBB was refuting. That's a good point. And it's like, this is where words matter. What phrases you use really matter as to, like, when someone rereads it, it's like, why did you say it like that? But do you notice in this, in front of the judge, Bubbles is asking questions that are more straight to the point and not like a narrative. He's actually just asking simply phrased questions. It's funny how when you get in front of a judge, your personality changes.
Right.
It's so the statements in this exhibit, you're tying to loss of business income. Is that correct?
Correct.
And can you connect the dots? So how did the defamatory statements in Exhibit 78 lead to lost business for you?
Oh, once publicly defamatory statements are said about myself, others came to believe those defamatory statements, thus injuring and decreasing my overall income of my business. I can't breathe.
Mary, that's a really good point. That's a rabbit hole we could go. That's not appropriate for this this time or place. But I see your point, and I don't disagree with you. And do you have any evidence to make that connection, or is it your characterization of it? 19. Georgie. Oh, Georgie needs a second. Stay tuned. Bruised Man Skin does his true self appear. Yeah, and I couldn't stay up last night for this. And when I was up, I was talking about or I was working on other things. The merch store, side note, the merch store is up. I will put a link. There is not a lot of stuff there right now. I'm still working on things, but the site itself is up. Not everybody thinks God is real like me, for instance. And that's an appropriate argument too. Like, this is one of those nuanced arguments. Like, not everything is black or white. And this is one of those nuanced arguments that we just, yeah. And see, and that's not to get into a theological discussion, but every religion, even though they're different religions, has a God. So it's not, and some have more than one. So it's not, I think part of the argument that Christians make is, well, I'm not saying my God, I'm just saying a God. So help you God. Does whatever one you happen to believe in. But then you have the atheists who, I don't know what y'all believe or don't believe, because every one of you is different. So, you know. Oop. Sorry. Stream. All right. I'm going to read this while she is
I'm back.
Oh, you're back?
The air is so dry from where we've had the heat on. I just can't breathe.
Yeah. Everybody has their own beliefs. We don't need to get derailed by all that. That's good way. Good way of putting it. All right. We're on line 19.
I don't understand your question.
Do you have any evidence to tie the loss of the business to the false statements in this exhibit?
Loss of income.
Do you have any evidence to show that the loss of income was caused by these statements?
Yes, evidence will be shown.
What is the evidence?
Loss of income.
And I completely understand where Jeremy's coming from. Like, you're used to making a certain amount of money. You're used to making a certain amount of money, and it's consistent. It might be, off by, let's just go plus or minus like $300 a month,
Yeah.
here and there. And then and then all of a sudden you notice a loss of, say, $1,000, and that loss is continuing after someone says these statements. That's a time, like, that timeline matches up. So it's like, it's just weird that he's, it's just one of those weird situations. So your evidence is loss of income?
Yes.
And your evidence that the loss of income was caused by the defamatory statements in Exhibit 78 is the loss of income?
Objection form. Conclusionary calls for conclusion. It's actually for the jury to decide that.
Strike that. Let me repeat the question, or rephrase the question. Is your evidence that you lost income due to the defamatory statements in Exhibit 78 anything more than the fact that you lost income?
My evidence of loss of income will be based on the totality of the defamatory statements from your clients.
Okay, let me move on. Was this forwarded to you by Nancy Holdsworth?
I don't recall.
And here's another thing that I'm noticing. He's moving on when Jeremy doesn't have an answer for him. Instead of before, like, he would rephrase it and try to get some more. Yeah, like it. Your Honor, the plaintiff cannot attribute any one statement to causing him loss, and he could not authenticate these exhibits at the moment, so they are fake.
Excuse me.
This strategy isn't going to work. Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it. That is.
24.
I was just thinking about that statement that he made, that Josh made, and it was like, yeah, that's a good. This is why I love doing this with the chat, because they see things and they interpret things differently than I do. And that's why I like doing this and having this discussion, because I would read it and I might see it completely different than you.
Sharon's got a good point.
Look at the false bidders on whatnot lost income. That's true. Yeah, and it's like it's one of those things. If you might not be able to contribute one statement to loss of income, but the totality of the yeah, except that they don't have to be authenticated until admitted at evidence is trial. Yes, that is true as well. You don't recall how you learned of this email being sent?
I recall how I learned of it.
And how did you learn of it?
The mayor of Peninsula, Ohio called me and stated that he received an email.
But he didn't receive this email, did he?
The mayor of Peninsula, Ohio called me and stated that he received this email.
And then he forwarded it to you?
That I don't recall either.
Let's look at Exhibit 79, please. Defendant's Exhibit 79 was marked for identification.
If we may go back to Exhibit.
No. So Exhibit 79, are these comments under a Facebook post?
Yes.
Do you claim that this Exhibit 79 contains any defamatory statements about you?
Yes.
Sorry, the little on her iPad, and I just heard her turn on jump around. And I was like, oh boy. And if you know, you know about jump around. And can you tell me what those are?
Jeremy called John the filthy gay names.
So the nil comment, Jeremy calling John the filthy gay names that you identify as defamatory statement in Exhibit 79.
Yes. Objection, competency. But you can answer.
Who is Charles Green?
I am unaware.
Who prepared this exhibit?
I don't recall.
Who provided this to you?
I don't recall.
Is it a screenshot from your phone?
I don't recall.
Was it attached to a message you received from somebody?
I don't recall.
Yeah, this is a giant fishing expedition.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like
It's
back, like he's at least plus to hear over the last time is he would go off on a tirade about why Jeremy wasn't answering these questions instead of just like, you know, and Jeremy is not going, I already answered your question. I don't know. Why are you asking me more? So this is more like how a deposition generally goes than the last dramatic deposition. This is more like it. Boring, straight to the point, you know, straightforward questions, straightforward answers, you know. Was the original post under which these comments were, or what was the original post under which these comments were made?
I don't recall.
What other comments were under the original post?
I don't recall.
Why does the bottom comment not indicate how long ago it had been left, whereas the two above indicate 2 minutes and 4 minutes?
I don't recall.
How do you plan to authenticate Exhibit 79?
Objection, competency. You can answer.
That would be a question or conversation between myself and my lawyer.
Well, you just stole my answer.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
You're good. I was just like, wait a minute.
Sorry. My bad.
Shit happens.
Do you know where the origin of Exhibit 79? What was the origin of your receipt of Exhibit 79?
I don't recall.
Do you recall if you received it from somebody, or do you recall if it was given to you by a lawyer?
I don't recall.
Do you know if it's real or fabricated?
I do know it's real.
How do you know it's real?
How would it be fabricated?
That's a really good question. It's really hard to fabricate I mean, it's possible, but it's really hard to fabricate a Facebook post unless you have multiple alt accounts.
Right. Which they do have.
Going and hot. Yeah, they have, not Jeremy.
Exactly.
There's a difference there. They have multiple accounts just to troll people because they have nothing else to do with their lives. Like, so I've noticed. Well, it is possible for someone to take a piece of paper and create what would look like comments on a Facebook without the original post. Is that not possible?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. In any event, you can't sit here and testify how you came in possession of this document, am I right?
I do not recall.
And this was a document from what, like 2022?
Probably. We'll
Yeah, I
see
wasn't.
that in the bottom, so I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't know where an exhibit came from that I got 2 years ago. I can't even remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday.
Right?
Exhibit 80, please. Defendant's Exhibit 80 was marked for identification. Do you have Exhibit 80 in front of you?
Yes.
Do you claim Exhibit 80 contains a defamatory statement about you?
Objection, competency, objection to form. You can answer.
I have to read it first.
And
Nope,
again.
Sorry. It's weird when it's weird when you're like.
You're having to switch between characters, yeah.
Well, and it was different with Brad because Brad's a dude. So it was like, okay, he has the dude parts and I have bubbles. Sorry. I said that and then made it, then that sounded what I sounded like. Sorry. He had
no, I liked it.
I had bubbles in the court reporter. So like, it was weird because it's like, with us being both female, even though we're not the same person, and this is not AI. It's a little more confusing than a dude and yeah.
I have to read it first. Yes.
What was the defamatory statement within Exhibit 80?
Jeremy attacked John. Jeremy is corrupt, just as, or alluding to Jeremy as corrupt just as much as the mayor.
Do you have any evidence as to how that false statement caused you harm or damage?
Loss of income.
Why wasn't this statement included in the original complaint that you filed in March?
I don't know.
That's not a him question. That's a lawyer question. Like, that's a lawyer question. Like, yeah. Like that would be a question for Shockit. How do you plan to authenticate this particular exhibit?
That's another conversation for myself and my legal representation.
Well, is that because you don't have personal knowledge as to the origin of this exhibit, but your understanding is that your attorney does have knowledge as to how this exhibit came to be?
No, it would be because there are so many screenshots that have been taken from all of these multiple Facebook accounts that it is very difficult over the matter of a year to remember what came from what. It would have a tremendous amount of time to then go back to the metadata and bring it back up, which we don't have in front of us.
You realize that this exhibit in and of itself is unauthenticated and would likely be deemed inadmissible because it doesn't have the original post or any context or date or anything. You understand that.
Objection to form, argumentative.
And here we go. I'll strike this. So my question is, do you have a way to authenticate this exhibit as being an actual comment that appeared on Facebook under the original post?
Yes.
And how come you haven't prepared to present that evidence today?
Objection, form, argumentative.
How come you're not prepared to present evidence today of the authenticity of Exhibit 80?
Wait, what? Oh, I was not led to be known that I was going to need to prepare by yourself.
Was this sent to you by somebody as a private message?
Most likely that it was a screenshot by Martha Risk and kept in a file forwards.
I see. And that you had access to that file so you could pick out things that you felt were defamatory to support your lawsuit.
My legal representation has access to that file, and it could pick out things that he finds defamatory in the lawsuit.
So Martha Risk prepared this exhibit, correct?
Correct.
Why isn't there the original post under which this comment was posted?
I don't know.
Why is my client Lynette Michelle Preston blah 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 comment come off at the bottom?
Because somebody didn't click on see more.
Do you think that it might be relevant to see more of what's in that comment?
If you're asking what I think it's probably more defamatory, if anything.
And why now, if you're going to present the comment like in Exhibit 80, show the post under which it appeared originally, as well as all the other comments under that post? Why not show that stuff?
Because I didn't take the screenshot. I'm not able to answer that question.
Duh.
Dumbass.
Like, I understand why he's trying to ask these questions and get out certain information, because that's to support his narrative. I get it, but it's like, come on, like, common sense. Like, he didn't take the screenshot. How is he supposed to go like, hey, I need you to go back and I need you to take all the screenshots? This was probably emailed to him, if I had to make an assumption. This is me talking, not him. It was probably emailed to them, and they get, what, they said 1,000 emails a day. So, like, how are you going to know to go back to that one particular person? You see a screenshot, you save a screenshot. Like, exactly. I have screenshots that I have screenshots in a folder that I can't remember who sent me those screenshots. I went back to like 4 people and I'll be like, did you send me this? Because I can't remember. Like,
right.
Bless Bubbles' little heart. Yeah, that's pretty much how I'm feeling right now. Like,
I feel like he's fishing so he can find out who the other witnesses are to go attack more witnesses like he's been doing.
Yeah. I am
21.
I was just like, I just can't, like, sometimes I wonder, like, do you have any actual, like, questions are you answering, or are you on a fishing expedition? Okay, I know so I don't know legal stuff, but is it legal for people that aren't attorneys to have these exhibits? Well, because most of these exhibits were sent to Jeremy. I'm sure the original, the people who have them still have them. But as far as if you're talking about the whole document, yeah, that's legal to share because it's public. It's a public document. I could potentially go to the courthouse and ask for it if it's not on Pacer. But I don't. Yeah, a deposition is fishing. That is true. Trying to impeach the witness and their evidence. I get that, and I've read through enough depositions, but there's just something about the way Bubbles asks questions that I've never seen from any other lawyer. And it's maybe because I've heard him talk. So this could be my just interpretation because I've heard him talk, and I can sense his attitude with these questions, where when I don't know the lawyers and I'm just reading a deposition from, say, a unaliving trial, and I've never actually heard these lawyers talk before, that might be my putting my own spin on it. So that could just be me, like, yeah, that could just be me being you know what I mean, like, because I've heard him talk and I've heard his personality and I've seen his personality, I'm putting a negative spin on the way he asks questions versus another attorney. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt that they're asking questions in good faith. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I've never seen this in a deposition before. Did you have the ability to tell Martha Risk, hey, this looks good, but we need the rest of it? Can you go back and screenshot the full post?
You're asking about ability?
I'm asking you, was there any reason you could not have had the exhibit prepared with the full post in all the other comments?
I expect we could still do that. It was posted online. Online is forever. We can go back to the metadata and we can have the full post.
But then we may have to do a whole other deposition.
Objection to form, argumentative.
In any event, let's move on to Exhibit 81. Do you have Exhibit 81 in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Exhibit 81 was marked for identification. Do you claim that this exhibit contained a defamatory statement about you?
Objection, form, competency.
Strike that. Mr. Hales, when I ask you, do you know if any exhibit contains a defamatory statement? Do you understand that that means a false statement?
Objection to form, argumentative.
Mr. Hales, do you understand when I ask about a defamatory statement, I'm asking you to identify false statements about you?
May I please have a moment to actually read the document and the exhibit?
But I'm asking you a question generally. When I ask you if there's a defamatory statement, it is your understanding that I'm asking you to identify a false statement about you.
My apologies, but I'm still on your previous question. Is there a defamatory statement within this exhibit? And I've not been able to read it because I've been interrupted.
I've withdrawn that question, and my next question is, do you understand that when I ask you to identify a defamatory statement, that I'm asking you to identify false statements about you?
Yes.
Okay, next question is, in Exhibit 81, is there any defamatory statement in there about you?
No.
Do you claim that Exhibit 81 contains evidence in support of any of your claims in this lawsuit?
Objection to form, competency. Yes.
What within Exhibit 81 do you consider evidence?
Same objection.
Jeremy's not a lawyer. Jesus.
The aspect of defamation of my character therefore also tried to destroy my business and dox my physical address, which I purchased to remove and protect myself from individuals such as Lynette Michelle Preston and John Cook. And so this is doxing of my address, allowing people to know exactly where I am, exactly where everything I own is, and undermining my security and my own protection a lot.
Exhibit 82. Defendant's Exhibit 82 was marked. Is this a GoFundMe? Does it say GoFundMe at the top? Mr. Hale. Okay, what does the top left mail 10:16 a.m. Friday, September 13th indicate? When you received it, or?
That I do not recall.
You don't know what that date and time suggests?
Date and time suggests the date and time.
Okay, fair enough. Do you claim this exhibit contains any defamatory statements about you?
Is there potential of having a highlighter or a pen so that I can mark each statement, or are we going to go through this paragraph by paragraph? This is a lot to digest.
Mr. Hales, why don't you read, and when you come across a sentence that's defamatory, you can articulate.
I am being stalked. Defamation. That is in regards to myself.
Okay, which paragraph?
It's paragraph number 1. It's been going on for over 2.5 years. That is also false.
Okay, what about in the second paragraph?
I'm still on the first paragraph. My grandson's life is being destroyed, all for views on YouTube. That is in regards to me. The stalking monster, that's in regards to me. Getting rich off of hurting people, that's in regards to me. That he feels are beneath him in every way, that is in regards to me. And defamatory. Paragraph 2, making sure we don't get donations to our turtle rescue, that's in regards to me and untrue. Making sure they keep us in court for made up, staged, unreal garbage, that's defamatory and untrue. Filing so much garbage, slowing down the case so they will make more money off of us, that's defamatory and untrue. My grandson is being stalked and lied about. That is in regards to me. That's untrue.
Okay.
I'm not done, counselor. Paragraph number 3. Paragraph number 3. My heart aches with what he has done to us. I've done nothing. So that is defamatory and untrue.
Okay, that's fine. I appreciate it.
I'd like to still go.
No, that's fine. I've heard enough defamatory comments from Exhibit 82. Did he just admit?
That is defamatory?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that could be interpreted two ways. That can be interpreted that he just admitted that those statements were defamatory, or he stated those were what Jeremy thought were defamatory. So that could be interpreted two ways, but like my brain instantly goes to he just admitted that those are defamatory. And what I'd like to ask you, though, is your name mentioned in here anywhere?
With all due respect, counselor, you didn't let me finish reading. So may I take a moment to finish reading?
If you're reading to determine the answer to my question, which is whether your name appears in it, witness reviewing document, just a simple yes or no. Does your name appear in Exhibit 82?
I'm still reading. My actual name does not appear in Exhibit 82, but reference to me in regards to YouTube absolutely does appear.
Okay, so the answer, does your name appear in Exhibit 82, is no, correct?
My answer is there is reference to me, yes.
Does your name actually appear in the exhibit? Yes or no?
The name Jeremy Hales does not appear. Reference to Jeremy Hales.
Okay, let's go. Can we please skip Exhibit 83 and we'll go to Exhibit 84, please? Exhibit 84 was marked for ID. How did you obtain Exhibit 84?
It was messaged to me.
By whom?
That I don't recall.
So somebody, strike that. It is your understanding that that the person who messaged these to you was the person with whom Lynette Michelle Preston had the conversation from these messages.
No.
What is your understanding then as to the origin of these messages?
The person that sent these messages to me stated that they were friends with another female that Lynette Preston met in a battered women group, and the female sent her money. And Lynette Preston engaged in this conversation with this female. This female was concerned and sent it to another individual who then sent it to me.
And who was the other individual that sent it to you?
I don't remember the date.
What was the name of the individual in the battered woman shelter that sent it to the individual whose name you can't remember?
If given the appropriate time, I can provide all of that information, but I was not prepared to give those answers today, so I don't remember the name.
Do you claim that this exhibit contains false statements about you? Defamatory statements about you?
Quote, YouTube fagman, unquote.
Is that it?
Still reading. Quote, Jeremy almost ran over our sweet little baby, unquote.
Sorry, I just had to return a text real quick. Uh-huh.
Quote, bitch boy had a slave call 911, unquote.
All right, that's pretty much the end, right?
I'm not done yet. Stating that... Oh, crap, you scrolled and made me lose my voice.
Sorry.
I'm not done yet. Stating that they have a restricted order on me.
Okay, now these were private messages, am I right? From Lynette Michelle Preston, sent to somebody's private messages, correct?
I can't answer that because I'm not the individual that it was sent to.
Well, you're familiar with what private messages screenshots look like versus Facebook posts, like we've already covered, right?
I can't answer it as I was not the person that this message was sent to.
Well, other than a private message, what possibly can this reflect?
I can't answer that as I'm not the one this was sent to. It was sent to me after it was sent to that individual.
This is a good point. Legally, JH cannot reveal any information about people in protection of women's shelters for battered women.
Exactly.
That's a good point. I would not, like, under normal circumstances, know that information. I just wouldn't. But I see that being a woman in a battered protection situation is protected by law, so she should not ask her name. And I feel like he should know that. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but it's Bubbles.
But as
you
a lawyer,
see how he treats women.
Very good point. You just made Mama Squid laugh. Like, do you hear?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, where
are we at?
Yeah, a smart lawyer would know that. There's a good point.
Yeah, like, this is true. He got his license from a Cracker Jack box.
In my opinion, Acme School of Law. Then why didn't his attorney object? I don't know. I can't answer that question.
Oh, look, it's my favorite troll.
Oh, That's your favorite troll? Mine's not
Yes.
here yet. Make a
Those
wish.
are the ones that harass me all the time, constantly commenting
knew?
on my stuff.
But we've proven from the first document, if you actually read the entirety of the first document, that I had said previously, Shockett should interject, and he didn't. Shockett should have interjected multiple times, and he didn't. So we've proven that Shockett doesn't interject when he needs to. Also, here's my petty side coming out. Shockett is giving Bubbles enough, because now this is on record. Shockett is giving Bubbles the opportunity to screw up. Versus if he just said no, or if he interjected and ended this line of questioning, we wouldn't know how he was asking inappropriate questions.
He could also be giving him the chance to correct his behavior as well, though.
See, and that's the positive way of looking at something, but I never look at unethical behavior in front of a judge. There. Yeah.
I'm like you. I usually look at it from the negative light, but I'm like, well, if we're going to look at it this way, let's look at it this way too, because it is Shockett.
And that's when that would be my petty side coming out, because I used to do that with a few coworkers. I'd ask them questions that one I already knew the answer to, and I'd give them the opportunity to lie to me.
That part.
And I'd just let them keep talking. Yeah, the judge didn't say anything either, but the judge is a potted plant. Remember, he's not going to throw up objections. He is only going to take control of things if things get out of hand. And that's not getting out of hand. That's just answering an inappropriate question, which if this gets admitted into evidence, this whole document gets admitted to evidence and shown to the jury, Shockett could point that out. So there's that aspect of it too. So it's a I'm lagging a bit behind, like Bubbles likes it, but why does he keep asking if he has the paperwork in front of Mr. Hales, like when he damn well does? That one in Bubbles' defense is just confirming, because Bubbles isn't actually sitting right in front of Jeremy. So Jeremy could be on a different page. And like, it's just to make sure that they're on the same page and looking at the same document. So that's just that one I don't fault Bubbles for, because my mom sitting on the other side of the table, we're looking at the same book, and I'd be like, you're looking at page so-and-so, right? That's, yeah. A good lawyer will never ask a question that he doesn't already know the answer to. There's that too. There is that too. Like when I would work with patients, I would really never ask a question that I didn't already know the answer to, but I was checking for cognitive issues, kind of thing. When I know their home situation, was given to the evaluating occupational therapist, and I'd go in and I'd ask questions, and if their answers changed, it'd be like, okay, is it cognition? Are they lying to me? Like what, Yeah. Well, yes, and that's why Shockett might not have interjected. Like, you're answering your own questions, but trying to call me an idiot. Like, or trying to make me appear as an idiot. It's like, no. Like, there could be multiple reasons, and I'm not Shockett, so I don't know. I'm only speculating on why I think these things could have been done. Shockett, one, didn't control his client very well in the last deposition, so maybe it's a client control issue. Secondly, he could be given Bubbles enough rope to hang himself with, as the saying goes. And 3, he could be like, well, if he asks an inappropriate question, now I can show it to the jury. I can potentially show it to the jury and say he asks inappropriate questions. And he can't control himself either. So there could be like, I'm sure Shockett has like a 10-page list on why he does what he does. And I don't know him, so I can't, I don't know. I think it's WhatTheHale's at Yahoo, but I'm not sure.
Yes.
It's in my computer.
It's WhatTheHale's at yahoo.com.
So, and I've heard that from a couple other people that they can't super chat. And I'm like, they're like, oh, well, that's their problem, not mine. So, all right. And the person who gave it to you, was that by you said it was a private message sent to you with these screenshots.
I do recall it was sent through Instagram. I don't believe you attached an Instagram. I believe it's inserted. So in regards to an attachment, what you would think about an email, no. Inserted, yes.
Okay, and your testimony is that you do not know you do not know the person. You can't recall the individual who gave this to you.
Not currently, but I still have the messages in my Instagram. But I was unprepared to give this answer today, which I can come up with that individual.
Now, in your summary judgment opposition, you list the exhibits we're going over are from the summary judgment opposition. And for this one, you allege that it was posted, but this is not posted. Am I correct? Private messages aren't posted, correct?
Can I see it? Objection to form, foundation. Go ahead. Sorry.
Are private messages posted?
So you're asking a question about a summary judgment, which I don't have that in front of me to answer the question.
I'm not asking you about that, Mr. Hales. I'm asking you whether private messages are posted. Is that the proper verb to describe how these were shown or otherwise posted?
Objection to form, foundation, lacks foundation. Again, I don't know exactly how these were, whether there was a private message or a paid public posting. I would have to go back to the source.
I got you, but I'm going to ask you to assume that it's a private message. And therefore, if we assume it's a private message, would you agree with me that it's not posted anywhere?
Objection to form, calls for speculation. You can answer.
I would agree that it is posted. If it's a message that is sent through any app or anywhere online, it's posted somewhere to some. Oh, sorry. Crap.
I would just go for it, sister.
I caught myself this time. I caught myself.
I would agree that it is posted if it's a message that is sent through any app or anywhere online. It's posted somewhere to someone, and that data never ever disappears. There's nothing private about it. It is posted. Can you clarify?
And Jen, thanks for being a member for 1 month. Love you, Squid and Georgie. You guys are doing great. Oh, and speaking of being members, since I did launch the merch store, there is a members only post that gives you 10% off of my merch store, so that, because I don't do enough for you guys that I should. So there is a 10% discount code for members.
Sweet.
Yeah. These private messages were leaked, therefore you should not have them because they aren't public. Gotcha.
So stupid.
It's yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
What do you mean by posting?
So you're using the word posted to describe even the message from a person A to person B. Private message because there's metadata. Whatever that's posted from person to person who sent it to the person who received it, correct? I didn't follow that.
Correct. It's posted. It's online forever.
Call me crazy, but I didn't even follow that word salad. I have to read that. I have to read that again to myself. Because it's metadata, whatever that. Okay, I got it. I was slow on the uptake there. This is why I prefer, direct questions and not paragraph questions, because my brain can only handle so much. There's the link to my merch store. And there will be more. It is I just made it yesterday. There will be more. There will be different things. So it's don't think that is just everything. There will be more. I got to start small, you know? All right. But it's not posted on a publicly available page or anywhere else that anybody can see other than the person who received it. Am I right?
Or who has access to it, yes.
Okay. Any idea of the date of these messages?
I can provide the date when given the opportunity beforehand to prepare.
Today is an opportunity. So do you know the date these messages were sent?
I can provide the date at a later date.
Do you know when you received those from some identified individual?
I do not recall currently.
And I'm pretty sure he has it written down somewhere. I just can't, like I said, I can't remember what I ate for breakfast yesterday, let alone like who sent me what on what date they sent so much stuff that I'm like, I don't even remember what document was posted on what thing. Did you send it to me in Twitter DMs? Did you text it to me? Did you put it on Discord? I don't even know these things, and it's only been 3 months.
Right? We share things through so many different platforms, and we receive stuff from people from so many different platforms. That's kind of hard to keep up with.
I don't know, like I don't know what platform. So I can't imagine that he like, and especially being in front of a judge, like not to say that Judge Belaytho is intimidating, but now the fact that you're just in a courtroom and you've got the threat of contempt to worry about too, like it just if you're a person with anxiety like me, that like gets in your head and makes you forget like basic information and makes your word recall, and my word recall sucks anyway because of my surgery. So like I can't remember certain things that you would think would be common sense. So a year later, I would have to refer to my notes. Like I even searched through things and I'm like, I wrote Mike one day at a time and I was like, did you send me something on this, because I couldn't find it. And I was like, did you send it to me on X or did you send it to me through a message? Like, I couldn't even remember. He couldn't remember either.
Well, it's like him and I was discussing a screen recording he sent me. And he was like, did I send it to you? And I'm like, yeah. I just don't remember what day you sent it to me.
Yeah, privacy is an illusion on social media. Yeah. And that's why I always say never write anything down that you don't want to be seen in public. Never write it down, whether it's a text message, like an email. If you don't want it to be seen in public, don't write it down. Expect anything that you write to be written or to be read and copied and sent around to everybody. Like if Bubbles wanted authentication, he could have advised Shuckett before this depo that he was going to ask for it. Yeah. Here's a really good one. If 2 people know a secret, it isn't a secret. If 2 people have private combo and one shares it, oh well. So there's a thing. That's why I say there's a difference between how you act when you're in public in front of someone where you could be recorded. You say things different when you write them down, or you say things different when you're having a conversation in a private room that's not recorded. Like you act differently and you say things different based on who you're talking to and where. Like you don't post or write anything down that you don't want. Yes, that you wouldn't want on the front page of a paper. There. So those emails, when I was joking and I said, if I would have known you were going to share this, I would have made my writing more, more grift worthy. I was joking because I knew he was going to share those from the beginning. And like, if he shared them, I was going to also. That's why when he shared them, the first thing I did was I went to Tug. So if I'm ticked off, I always write it on paper. By the time I finish, I calm down, but I don't post it online. And that's why people have journals. Or, if you're a teenage girl, you have a diary, but that's also why you have a shredder. Mine is right under the desk. It's where I prop my feet up. So it's like, it's one of those, huge things where it's so I have to read a text message real quick. I just thank you. And Georgie had to run and get the little some cereal, so she will be right back. But until she gets back, posting online is not private. Yeah, that's the thing.
When baby wants food, baby comes first.
Yeah, usually she's in here like dragging my hand and like taking me to where she wants to go. But right now, Daddy and Nana are in the building, so they yeah. But we've started this thing of, and I know you understand where I'm coming from with this, that like you don't want to tell them no, but when they run to you asking you to open up a snack, like she has these protein bars. They're those clean kids or kids clean protein bars, so they're as good as you can get, but she thinks them as chocolate bars. I think them as, okay, you're getting calories and protein because you're tiny. But she'll run right past her dad and like run to me to open it up, and I'm like, your dad is standing right there, like.
Well, that's how he just did me. His daddy was sitting right beside him, and he came in here to me and drugged me off the desk to fix him some cereal. So,
And she did that to my mom this morning. She ran to me, and it's like, you ran right by someone with two working hands. It was one of those, like, I don't want to tell her no, like, as far as stop coming to me, but like, you can rely on other people besides me. And I have this like mom guilt that I'm telling her to go to other people. But at the same time, it's like, you realize you ran by someone that could do it for you to come to me when I was doing something else. Like I'll be in the middle of like folding laundry and she'll come to me when she'll walk right by somebody else. And it was like, so it's this like, yeah, she's been relying on me for everything all the time, but it's trying to transition her. And I have this mom guilt that I'm not doing it for her. But at the same time, it's like, you walked right by your dad or your grandmother.
Perfectly other functioning humans that can help you.
Yes, but mommies have special way of opening things. And I've seen like viral videos on this before, and it's just like, I saw a viral video of someone, like a woman, like making a video. She's like, I'm hiding. My daughter was sleeping in bed with us and woke up, came to find me. She was like in a guest bedroom or something, came to find me to ask me for breakfast. And she goes, where's your dad? Oh, he's still asleep in bed. So you woke up, got out of bed to try to find me to get you something that someone could have gotten you that was sitting right next to you.
Yeah, like Tiny just did.
Yeah.
He was literally sitting right beside the hubby and came all the way in here to drag me to the pantry to get him cereal.
Then, hey, poor Marine, how are you?
Like, I'm working here, bro. Like,
it's just mom life. I don't trust nobody. Yeah, same here. We don't control the kids control us. Yeah, that's true. Oh boy. Oh, I just can't.
oh yes, Dennis, you're right. They get worse as they get older.
Nothing wrong with ask your father, I'm busy. She strikes me as the person that's going to try to manipulate both of us. Like, Dad said I could go here. Mom said I could go here, but did they actually? Because like this morning I told her no, because she's in the bathroom and her new favorite, when I was straightening my hair, where now she likes to get into the drawer where I keep all my makeup. That's her new favorite thing. And she also likes to try to put as much toilet paper in the toilet as possible. So we close the bathroom door when we leave. And I was leaving and I was like, yeah. I was leaving and I was like, okay, I'm closing the door, and she got mad at me and she like smacks me and she hits me. She hits me. So I just, tapped her shoulder, like 2 fingers, and she went running to Daddy like, what? What'd you? Mommy did it. Mommy did it. Mommy did it. Like, Mommy told me no.
That's like our older girls. They already try to play me and him against each other to the point that it causes us to fight. Because I'm like, I already told them no. And then he turns around and tells them yes, because they lied to him and told him that I said yes.
And I am pinning the merch store to the top of the chat. And thank you, Harry, for the $5 super chat. Banana money for the little squid. Like, we have one more. So tomorrow we are gonna have to go shopping. I swear. It's fun, but like we're working on the full word banana. Right now we only got Nana. But Nana is a person. So
Yes.
all right. All right. Do you know, let's get back into this because we've gone on a tangent long enough where I know we're gonna get complaints.
We're nowhere near as bad as the others that derail, so
That's true. I can do you know when you received those from some unidentified individual?
I do not recall currently.
Let's go to Exhibit 85. And again, this would appear to be a private message, am I right?
Objection, competency, you can answer.
Mr. Hales, are you familiar with Active Now under the name little phone icon, the video icon, the little eye? That is what you see in a Facebook Messenger chat, correct?
Counselor, I'm still reading to answer your first question of what this is. If I could please be given the opportunity to read your exhibit. I don't recall if this is a private message or public posting.
Well, if you look at the top of the exhibit, it has the Active Now, the little phone icon, the little video icon for video calls. Isn't that what you see in a private messenger chat?
To be frank, I've never paid that close of attention.
Neither have I. Did you ever see those phone icons above somebody's comment in a Facebook post?
Again, to be frank, I've never paid that much attention.
Okay.
But for the sake of the exhibit, we can say this is a private message.
And do you recall how you received this private message?
I believe Michael Dean sent this to me, but I don't want to go on record 100%. Again, I would have to go back and reference everything that has been sent and screenshot and documented. But to my best recollect, Michael Dean sent this to me.
And who is Michael Dean?
Oh, I've seen that name.
I've never seen that name.
I have, and he's in the hate group. Another individual who Lynette would communicate with.
And do you recall how you received this from Michael Dean? Was it attached to attached as an attachment to a message from him to you?
Most communication through Mr. Dean came through Facebook Messenger.
Okay. And I have to stop right here because this person, if you've seen them on the hate groups talking crap or, like just because you've seen somebody talk in a Facebook post or on a Facebook group or in some person's chat and then you see them somewhere else, like don't automatically assume that just because you've seen them in one place that they are a hater.
Exactly.
Sometimes, yes, it's not just mole. Like I'm not calling anybody who you've seen in multiple places moles, but don't assume that just because someone is observing something that they're either for you or against you. Like don't assume things about people. And I've gotten this email about people that have been in my chat, people who have contacted me. Even some of the people who have been in my chat who have contacted me because I've seen them. Like I had an auto block list of like people who I was keeping like a closer eye on. And like I was wrong about some of those people. So like don't assume that just because you've seen people talking quote unquote shit in another chat doesn't mean that they're a hater of yours. This is where the don't trust anything and don't trust anybody comes into play. Because someone might be talking shit on this post just to get people to say things. People might be talking shit on another post just to get people to trust them and say things that they otherwise wouldn't say. So this is where you don't assume anything about anybody. just because you might have seen them somewhere else. Like, and there are some people that come in here and talk shit just for the sake of talking shit, who I've seen talk shit in other places, like Peculiar Optics. Like, that lady just likes to talk everywhere to everybody all the time and create chaos. But some play both sides. Some play both sides just because they
want attention from
some
either
play both
side.
sides because they want attention, and some play both sides because they want information. And if you can get a little piece of information here and a little piece of information here and some information here, you start to get this puzzle where you're not going to get the full picture in everybody's chat. But if you take a little bit from here and a little bit from here, a little bit from here, you can start to put pieces together on your own without having to trust anybody. So, and yes, there is this too. Got nothing good to say. Don't say anything at all. So
I just sent you screenshots. That's who it is.
Interesting.
I knew exactly who it was when I saw the name.
Interesting. So,
if you know, you know, no.
Do you know or do you know no? No.
I know no.
You know? All right. It's like, I have never seen that name before. However,
you don't hang out in the hate group either.
I don't hang out anywhere. I barely get like Megan and Tug. Like, I started as a mod for Megan. I have been the worst mod for Megan. I'm surprised I'm still a mod because I don't have the time to, like, when I am in her chat, I'm working. So, like, I'm not paying 100% attention to what I'm looking at. And I'm like, you know, like, oh, thank you for sharing your mercy story. I have problems holding stuff in my hands. My nerve at any point messes up. I drop what I have in my hand. Is there a way you can create orders or order ones with handle? I can look into it. I had a trainer drop me one time because I threw a kettlebell and he thought I was mad at him. So, like, he was like, and I'm like, no, like, literally my hand just, I was that kid, Mom, right? I was that kid who would, like, my hand, I'd be writing and all of a sudden I'd throw my pencil and you'd look at me like I was nuts. And it turns out that, oh, Mama Squid is sitting right here. So, but, like, I would throw my pencil and, like, she would look at me like I was crazy. My teachers would look at me like I was crazy. And I was literally like, I don't know what happened. And yeah, Megan said you're her favorite. Well, you know,
it's what it is.
Yeah. And I know that not everybody in this chat likes me. I'm well aware of that. I understand that not everybody in this chat likes each other. And that's fine. But it's just like, you just respect the fact that we're in America and we can agree to disagree on things. Like, even you and I, Georgie, like, we read the same thing and we can interpret it two different ways.
Yeah.
Like, that's not saying that either one of us are wrong or we're bad people because of it. We're just different because, you know, we're human.
Exactly.
So, just that's why nobody is blocked in this chat, even though some people in this chat I may not like when they show up because they may annoy me, like Peculiar Optics. And I'm saying her name because everybody knows who she is because she's freaking annoying everywhere she goes. Like, yeah, I don't like anyone. It's pretty much. I say I don't discriminate. I hate everybody equally. That's my.
That's like me and you. We're close, but we've disagreed on topics.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. There's nothing wrong with it as long as you can articulate why you disagree.
Right.
If you just disagree because you hate this person, like I always say, like, Trump. Like, I don't like everything the man does. Like, sometimes I wish he would keep his freaking mouth shut. But you know what? Just because I don't like certain aspects of his personality, it doesn't mean I don't think he's good at his job or he has points. Like, you know, like, you got a good point. Your execution might suck, but you got a good point.
Right.
You know, I like when people are kind to each other. Yes, just be kind of a bitch. But there's that phrase. Like, I absolutely despise you, Squid, so much that I'm luring my own channel to be here. Wait, I have no idea for I forgot that some of you. Yeah, and you send me text messages to derail the chat. And I still have to get back to you on some things of your case that we were talking about. So, and then Cynthia, I secretly hate you. Oh, see, yeah, I don't agree with everything, but I love Squid. See, and that's the thing. We don't always have to agree to, you know, and you might agree with my point, but not agree with how I came to that point.
Right.
Like, like end result, yes, got the right answer, but your process sucked. Like
Papa Squid.
Squid doesn't like me a lot of the time. That's not true. Anyway, let's get back to the it's no secret I hate everyone. And that's the thing, like if you have people on both sides of a situation who don't like you, and you have people on both sides of a situation who like you, you've got to be doing something right. Because that means you're not agreeing with everybody all the time and you're thinking for yourself. And that's all I want is people to think for themselves and not just go along with Lynette's side because you hate Jeremy, or not just go along with Jeremy's side because you hate Lynette. Like there's a perfectly yeah. Like there's a gray area that most of us find ourselves in. And I'm just the one who everybody else will think it, and I'll just say it because that's just the way I am. I get that one from my dad.
5.
Hey.
Oh.
Managed to catch a live rather than recap crew. Bravo Zulu as usual. Thank you. Like, all right, let's get back into this. We were
on 5.
Yeah. And so this would have sort of cut and pasted from a message to you, from him to you, right? Or strike that. Is that your understanding that this was a message received by him that he shared with you? In other words, Lynette Preston was communicating with Mr. Dean.
Yes, Lynette was communicating with Michael Dean.
Okay, so your understanding is that he received this original message from Miss Preston. We decided to wait and shared it with you.
Yes.
We decided to wait and shared it with you. Okay. Okay, and please tell me, is there in there, what is the defamatory, if anything?
He's evil. He's a cult leader. He tells them God is telling him that it's time to kill and bring to death the evil messenger. That's the bad neighbors.
Huh? That's just...
When did he ever say that? Oh, you have a new member.
Yeah, Jill M's, thanks for becoming a member of Tentacle Nation. There is a members only post for 10% discount code for 10% off of the merch store. And I can't believe that. Like, I never in my million years thought I would have a merch store. That is so bizarre. Like, each step of this process is just bizarre. Like, yeah. I've never heard him say that.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't, truth be told, I don't watch that much of it. Like, I'm still working on Shara's video from the other day because that's how, like, and it takes me to watch things twice before I completely, like, process them. Because my brain is weird like that. My brain was so big it was falling out of my head. So there's that. Squid giggles in 60 seconds. Derailed in 3, 2, 1. So, do you deny saying...
I'm still reading, sir.
Sorry.
I'm finished now.
Like, honestly, taking Jeremy completely out of the equation, who would say that to anybody on YouTube? Like, huh? Like, who would... Like, taking Jeremy completely out of the equation, what streamer would ever say that? Slug, shush. Gross. 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 Or your brain was just pudding and leaking. That one's more accurate. Yeah, no sensible person. All right. And do you deny having said anything like that, similar to that on YouTube ever?
Yes.
You deny you've ever said anything like that.
Yes.
Exhibit 86, please. Do you have Exhibit 86 in front of you?
Yes.
Do you claim this contains defamatory statement about you?
The aspect where she states there, when they fake pictures and stuff, they're doing that copying and pasting things in and out of post to make it look like we're creating hate speech.
That's the defamatory statement?
It's untrue.
And is your name in here?
My name is not in there. My name is referenced on all of it.
Why is there an icon? It's under the sticker of Super Dave on this screenshot.
I can't see what's under the sticker.
Well, under the sticker, there is Super Dave Middleton's best icon. And that's, yeah.
You know who that is, right? I actually
Yeah.
don't see anything under the sticker except the sticker.
Can you see a little half circle underneath it?
Could you please point on the projector what you're referring to?
Yes, certainly.
I can't distinguish what that is.
Well, I'm telling you, it's an icon from Super Dave from Milltown's Best. That's where I was getting hung up earlier. I was like, that's not Middleton, that's Milltown. Best YouTube channel. And I'm asking you whether you would have had any explanation.
I honestly have no idea what you mean by explanation.
Well, my question is, why would you be producing this exhibit with an icon of a YouTube channel, Super Dave, Milltown's Best, on it as opposed to without that?
You have thoroughly confused me. I am not sure what you're asking, to be honest.
Does anybody have any idea what he was trying to get at with that? Because I don't either.
I think he's trying to ask if Super Dave's the mole.
Okay. Sorry, I was writing something down. All right. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. I'll move on. Exhibit 87, please, which is a 3-page stapled exhibit. Do you claim that Exhibit 87 contains defamatory statement about you?
Page 3 states that I destroyed a disabled woman's and disabled child's life. That's defamatory.
That's the middle of the 3 comments.
Yes.
Any others?
That is the only one that I see.
And is your name mentioned?
Very first page, Otter Creek, Jeremy Hales, coward of Levy County.
And do you notice how there's a distinction between he destroyed a disabled woman's and disabled child's life and the fact that they called him a coward of Levy County? Like, he's not saying that being called a coward is defamatory. Like, there's a huge thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that is a huge, because people who are saying that Jeremy is just like being called names and he's saying that that's defamation. No, you can just say, like, you can see clearly he was called coward of Levy County and he's not calling that defamation. But yet some people are going on and when are calling people names, but then when they're called names or public information is distressed, they're calling that defamation. It's like,
yeah. I'm right here. Okay, is it just me or did Squid freeze? I think I lost Squid. I broke Squid.
yeah. Sorry, my internet just decided to
It was that was a great face you froze on, by the way. That was great. I should have screenshotted it.
It can't be any worse than this one. This one. Hold on. That. It can't be any worse than that. I think it was Roslyn who did that. Like, I know, speaking of Roslyn, all the my logo Squid Proco logo and a lot of the ideas for merch. She helped me like make all of the designs. Like, so if you do not subscribe to Rosalind Duke, you must. Can one of my mods put Rosalind's channel link in the description? We need to get Rosalind to 2K. Like, she's been hanging around this like 1800 mark for like, I want to say a year. Like, we got to get her over 2K because that's just not right. Because she is a much better person than I am when it comes to this YouTube thing. She is more creative than I am. She makes hilarious videos. And she makes serious videos. Like, she's working on videos about people in Hurricane Helene. And she writes scripts and she records videos. And I suck at it. And yet I somehow have 3,000 subscribers and she does not. So we need to get her up there because that's not even right. Like, something's not right with that equation. Just my personal opinion. My brain doesn't work good due to a stroke. That BBB confuses me even more. And yeah, that might be my problem too. And can somebody post her Delulu short is awesome. Oh yes. And if you she also has the Giphy Awards, which is the Go F Yourself, and this is the Giphy Award. I'm a proud owner of a Giphy. So Rosalind Duke, she is one of Megan's mods, but she also has her own channel and she is hilarious. She and I do a Nope show that we used to do more of, and we need to do another one soon. She is hilarious. She also has the Lala's How to Catch a Man kit. If y'all haven't seen that for the and she's the one when you see someone wear the what merchandise, or she has stickers in her merch store that are I have anxiety over the roof. Like, she is much more creative than I am. So y'all have to go sub to her.
I subscribe.
Thank you. All right.
I'm gonna get going.
Okay. Bye. Everybody
Bye,
say bye.
Mama.
Bye.
See, she really is a real person and she's real here.
I'll make an appearance.
She's real here. She's right here. See? That's Mama Squid.
I do exist.
Yeah. So, you know.
Bye.
Y'all have a great day.
Yep.
All right. Mama Squid isn't real. Squid's using a soundboard. You can give Slug crap next time you're on a stream.
Yeah, let me go.
Okay. Woohoo, Mama Squid.
I am a real person.
Yes. Someone make me lunch, please.
She said, I'm a real person. I do exist.
When we get done here, you can FaceTime her if she's not down for a nap.
Yeah.
She's down for a nap. Okay.
With Daddy, that's funny.
Yeah. That's why it got quiet all of a sudden. Okay, so I gotta be quiet. Baby Squid's down for a nap. Oh, yeah. Oh, she knows. She did a show where she actually streamed Let's Make a Merch stream. So she invited me on her stream and helped me with my idea. And she because I have an idea, but I suck at like doing it. I tell her something and she makes it happen. Like, I'll make it a thing on Canva and I'll be like, I'm stuck. I can't do this. What do I do? I can't, it's not working. And she will just like, I'll share the link with her and she will just go in and like work her magic. And yeah.
See how.
Yeah. Right there. I've got problems with both sides, but Jeremy never physically threatened everyone.
Thank you.
That right there. All right. Is your name mentioned on the third page?
Bottom of the first page. This page is for the ex-fans of What the Hell's my last name.
My question is, on the third page, is there any mention?
I'm getting to the third page. Second page, para 3.
I didn't ask about the second page.
Jeremy Hales up top. Further down, Jeremy Hales, Coward of Levy County.
So Bubbles is trying to ask him about the only page where his name is not mentioned.
Yeah.
That's some shady shit right there. Like, Mr. Hales, I'm only asking about the third page. Ugh.
Yoda's comment. That's
I
the
wanna thank-
beautiful bride.
I want to thank all of you for the love you have shown me, and my husband and Uncle Frank loved each and every one of you. Yoda is loading the truck, so I grabbed his phone to say thank you all, and thank you. And you know, Yoda has my number. Text me whenever you need me. And I'm sorry, I noticed that I got a missed call last night. One, I went to bed, and two, if anybody tries to call me after 10 p.m., I won't get notified because my phone goes into do not disturb mode at 10 a.m. from 10 to 7. So if anybody calls me and I don't respond, that's why. Because I try to stay off of my phone after 10 p.m. So, and then that way I don't wake up the little or the fam with my phone constantly vibrating. So, you'd only have to ask and I'll help come up with ideas for your merch store. For you, I want more help. And I'm open to anybody who's willing to help me because that's the thing. I've never, it's one of those issues of I am not the brightest person ever. Like I have some intelligence. I know what I know and I don't know what I don't know. And I'm not trying to think that I know what I don't know. However, slug. I surround myself with people who are smarter than me and who are sweet enough to help me. I'm not playing that video on my stream. However, Slug can't make microwave mac and cheese. just to know. Sometimes I think Shockett isn't a great lawyer and is making mistakes. And it's one of those things of like nobody's perfect. No therapist is perfect. Like no OT is perfect. No doctor is perfect. No lawyer. Nobody's perfect. So us going in and like critiquing is not like we're not doing it with a negative trying to be rude because we understand nobody's perfect, or at least I do. I can't speak for anybody else. However, it's one of those things of like this is hindsight being 2020, and if I were asking questions, I would not have done it this way. That's not to say I'm right and he's wrong. It's just nobody's perfect. And hindsight is also 2020. I think Bubbles is a joke. He's making it more and more apparent that he did not research this case before he decided to take it. Because normally a case like this is handled by a larger team, can't fully blame Shockett. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, yeah, I'm perfect, my mom told me. Yeah, she also told you that you were special, huh? She was right about that, just not the type of special. Just kidding. Like, all right. Who prepared this exhibit?
The middle of this page, YouTuber is a reference to me, Jeremy Hales.
Mr. Hales, I do not want you to answer any more questions about pages 1 or 2. On page 3, who prepared the exhibit?
Most likely Martha.
Why is the date typewritten 7/13/23 next to the top comment?
Because that would be the date when the comment was made.
How do you know?
Because that's when it was documented.
Yeah. He may be missing objections, but this is not testimony, and if he objects, it still goes into the depot with the objection. So he also may have the perfect stance, less is more. And that's that could be true too. And that's the thing. We're not him. I'm not him. I can't say why he is making the decisions he is making, whether it's not being competent or whether it's having a plan and he's playing chess and the rest of us are playing checkers. I don't know. I'm just saying from my personal opinion, it's stop putting yourself down. And that's the thing too, is like I'm not trying to put myself down. I know what I know and I don't know what I don't know. Like I know occupational therapy and I know some things about the law, but like you tell me to go out and like use the hedge trimmer and try to cut these bushes and you're going to like or you Mr. Squid asked me to cut his hair and he's going to go bald because that's the only thing that's going to look right. Like, you know,
I think not only is he doing the less is more approach, but I think he's trying to let Bubbles trip himself up, being that they are trying to add Bubbles to the suit.
And with this one, Jody, I appreciate you, and it's also with me, if I am honest about my own forthcoming, like I am not the most creative, nobody else can make fun of me. Because like if I am, yeah, I know I'm not perfect. So when you call me, you say I'm really bad at that, it's like, okay, I never, you know what I mean? Like I can't, nothing bothers me because I'm realistic about my positives and negatives. There are some things I am really good at. There are some things I'm really not good at. And like, like yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's above his pay grade. I just don't think Bubbles fully, and I think the same way about David Gingras, so I'm not singling out Bubbles. I don't think David Gingras fully investigated the background of his client before he took that case.
That part.
And I think he got in over his head, and there's no way out.
Well, from the stuff that Shara keeps releasing, he didn't join this case to take care of his client anyway. He joined this case to get famous.
Yeah. That's this YouTuber's destroying this child's future. Are we talking about HG is like yep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Even when I see her name in a document, I will only refer to her as HG, and I will never talk about I will never yeah. I don't like talking about the child except for facts about medical issues. So, and I still have a problem with people going, she's 5 and not potty trained. Well, is that a her thing? Is that a her condition thing or a Lynette and John thing? Like there is two different, no one actually knows. So, if I've already accepted my downfalls or shortcomings, means it won't hurt when others say it to me. Seal the pain intended for harm. Yes, and that's kind of my point. I'm realistic. Like, he still hasn't investigated anything they say. He fully believes what all they say and doesn't check. And that's the thing. It's trust but verify. Trust but verify. So, all right. How do you know? Like 9/19.
Yeah,
how do you know?
Because she took screenshots of it and put the date when it happened.
Who is she?
George.
Why did she cobble together 3 comments out of context on one page?
Objection to form calls for speculation. I'm sure if we reference the metadata, which still exists, as this never disappears, and is his comment after his comment after his comment. It is a screenshot going all the way down.
All right. So it's your testimony that this one single screenshot that shows 3 comments is in their natural state. Why were the original posts under which these comments appeared not included in the exhibit?
Objection to form calls for speculation. You can answer. As far as I can tell, it is. You've got 3 pages here. Page 1, Jeremy Hales, Otter Creek, Coward of Levy County. Going straight down, this is 3 pages of one continuous screenshot, all posted by John Cook.
I have a picture to show when we're done with this. When we're done with the stream, I have a picture to show everybody. That I was sent by. I was not sent by. It was not sent by Yoda, but it was sent by someone close to Yoda, who was really close to Uncle Frank. So, her medical condition is not a brain condition. Go back and watch my stream about GA1. It can be.
Yes.
If it's not treated early enough, it can be. It can also cause you to have a stroke. And a stroke is a neuro condition. So the condition itself No, but if it's not treated properly, it can be.
And
So
let's remember,
before this is not to talk positive or negative about anybody who has had custody of that child, but if you don't know a fucking situation, you don't judge it. If you don't know, and do I agree with everything that Lynette and John have done about saying she can't be around other people? Hell no. It's not, it has nothing to do with your immunity, but it does have cognitive implications if not treated effectively.
let's also remember that the mother was a drug addict. That baby was affected by those drugs in utero, which also affects neuro.
Yes. So yes, without proper amount of proteins, the brain doesn't function properly. Without a proper amount of glucose, which the body doesn't need sugar and doesn't need carbs to function, it can make proteins from extra. But if it can make glucose from extra proteins, it's called gluconeogenesis. If you don't believe me, you can Google it. But yes, but there are families, like if you watch my video before, this is why I don't make assumptions about people's health, because you don't know. If you are not a doctor or a therapist or a nutritionist who is in care of that child, you don't know. And that's why we don't assume. Because what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of yourself. So I don't assume anything about anybody's health, because people assume that I was fine and I had brain surgery. Like, people assumed that I was fine and I was faking my stuff, and then turns out I needed brain surgery to fix my stuff. So, like, just because the condition is not everything in the body is connected. And if you don't have an issue, but okay, and people are saying that lazy parenting is why she isn't potty trained. How do you know? Someone can be a
That would be calling
lazy-ass
me
parent.
lazy.
Like, someone can be a lazy parent or someone could be the best parent and their child isn't potty trained. So, like, it has something to do with that, yes, but that is not the only cause. And this condition can also cause you to have strokes. There is a family that I watched a video of that has 2 kids with the same condition. One died at 17 and one had a stroke. Both were treated as appropriately as possible. And it's not that they didn't get medications, it's that their conditions caused them to have issues. So this is why I don't judge. And I'm not trying to say that Lynette is a perfect parent, but I'm also trying to say don't blame her for shit that you have no fucking idea about. There's a fine line.
When it comes to the potty training thing, I'm not going to down her for that, because my son is very high on the spectrum and he is fucking terrified of the toilet. Guess what? He's in pull-up still. So I'm not going to judge another parent for their child not being potty trained.
I watched your video. I'm speaking from my cousin's family experience with it, a proper diet, and it's managed perfectly fine. Well, that's you. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad for that.
But it affects everyone differently.
Yes. And there was a video that I showed from a family that had 2 children with the exact same condition. They were completely different. And then I showed a video of a girl who takes a supplement every day and she's fine. So, like, I am not one to judge a condition that I don't know how it affected that child. If I had a conversation with that child and, like, I interviewed the parents or I had access to the medical records, then maybe I would have a different opinion. But from being a medical professional who worked with neuro patients, and you don't judge what you don't know.
Yeah.
That's not the way my mom taught me how to live. That's not the way my college education taught me how to live. Because you would read a patient's chart and you would go in expecting one thing and you would get a completely different set of circumstances, even though the person who wrote that last note wasn't wrong. It's just things can change from day to day.
See, that video we watched in your stream about it, that mother had 2 children with the same condition.
Yeah.
And one was worse than the other.
Her first one, her daughter had a stroke. So she had very limited use of her right arm. And she had a limp, but other than that, her cognition was fine. The other one passed away at 17. So It's you yeah. So because I don't have access to the child's medical records, I don't assume anything. And I don't assume anything. Like there's like we're in the middle of potty training right now. One day this girl wants to use the bathroom and tries to put her own potty chair on the toilet so she can sit on it. The next day she wants nothing to do with it. So it's like it, yeah, that's the thing. I have an issue with the way they live. That's true. So it's like I don't assume things because I don't know. Like I try not to be that person. And I get kind of upset with people who get on my case or try to convince me to not be um that person. So, yeah. This too. This right here. This is the perfect comment. It could also be the combination of both medical and the parent. There is no one there is like I said, we live in this gray area. There is no one reason for anything. Like, and I know people whose kids didn't want to be potty trained till 4. Not for a lack of trying, but the kid just wasn't ready. The kid just was not ready. So, I don't judge a parent based on that. So,
Now, the filth they live in that
yes.
she continuously forces that baby to live in, that's wrong.
Yes. But also that, and no offense, but like, and I don't know the situation because like I said, I haven't followed that closely, but the blue bucket, the child could be like, I'd rather have a diaper than that. So like there's that too. Like it could be medical, environmental, like there's a combination. There's never one reason for anything. So like that's the issue that I have with people on both sides is that people are like it's this or it's that. No, it's not. It's somewhere in the middle. There's always the three sides to a story, my side, your side, and the truth. Like there's
Bye,
yeah,
Rebecca.
like all right, let's get back to it. Like
Where are we at?
we are objection form calls for speculation. You can answer.
As far as I could tell, it is. You've got 3 pages here. Page 1, Jeremy Hales, Otter Creek, Coward of Levy County. Going straight down, this is 3 pages of one continuous screenshot. Oh, we already read that part.
Okay. I see. Okay, so those 3 pages on the screen would just all flow 1, 2, 3, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Exhibit 88, which is also 3 pages. Just referencing the first of the 3 pages, is there a defamatory statement about you?
The reference is defamatory in the aspect of stating that my fiance is sucking his chicken.
Good thing Unhung Hero's not here. Do you know why the O in the word chicken has a pentagram within it? Did somebody doodle that?
Yes, because it's an offensive word. Why is it a pentagram? It's just a star.
Well, everything I have a gal dang YouTube unsubscribed to me again. Well, welcome to not being on YouTube's the positive side of YouTube. When you talk about things and you disagree with a lot of people, YouTube. Plus, I cover a lot of unaliving trials, and YouTube's not really a fan. So, did it come out like that on the keyboard?
No,
So somebody took a pen to that?
I don't know.
Okay. Any idea what the date of this is?
Given due time, I will go back to the metadata and will give you the exact date. But as I was not prepared for that today, I can give you an honest answer on the date. I can't give you an honest answer.
If you could flip to page 2 of this exhibit and you can tell me whose phone number is on top.
No, I can't.
Do you know if this is a screenshot or a fabricated exhibit, page 2?
There are no fabricated exhibits, so it's a screenshot.
So all of those appeared on the same screenshot, right? In other words, this is one screenshot, page 2 of all the comments that appear on page 2.
Please clarify your question.
Yeah. Is page 2 a single screenshot that shows all of that, or were they cobbled together?
I still don't understand your question.
Mr. Hales.
It's a single It's a single screenshot on page 2.
Thank you.
Does that answer it?
Yes. Now page 2 appears to be Facebook comments, correct?
Yes.
Watching this was on TV was more enjoyable until the chicken.
Yeah, it kind of threw me and went off too.
Oh, and I'm trying, like, I know this is written down, but I'm also trying to be like respectful. And I try to be respectful of George too, because this is talking about her. Like, you don't want to repeat. Yeah. Rick Friend, thanks for the $2 super chat. Why did she adopt the baby since she has high needs? I don't know specifically. I can take a guess, but this is my assumption and not a definite, Yeah.
Well, from court documents that are public from when she tried to get when she had the TRO on Jeremy and she filed the indigenous status, it's clearly stated she makes $630 a month just on HG from SSDI. So we speculate that that's why.
Yeah. That this I didn't read Shara's Depot. I don't know. So I didn't read Shara's Depot. I don't have access to Shara's Depot. I didn't listen to any of Shara's Depot, so I don't know.
Roy.
I know.
Okay, now where the heck are we?
Page 3 also appears to have Facebook comments, but also a private message at the bottom, correct?
Yes.
Lulu, Social Security, disability insurance, income. It's there we go.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Did Angela Gleason contact you?
Angela Gleason has emailed me multiple times.
Who provided Exhibit 88 to you? Who provided Exhibit 88?
I would have to go back and find that out. I don't recall.
Are these private messages between John Cook and Elizabeth Faley? Lizzie Faley? Lizzie? Okay.
What it looks like to me in Exhibit 88, page 1, it's a single screenshot that John Cook posted somewhere on Facebook. Page 2 looks like it's somebody private messaging screenshots. And page 3 looks like it's somebody private messaging screenshots.
In the bottom, I'm sorry, but this should all be taken into consideration. Does that appear to be a private message as opposed to a Facebook?
Yes, as I just shared.
Why are the words different on page 1 where it referenced George's, but on page 2 it's referenced Martha's?
Because Martha gave my attorney a copy where she covered her name for confidentiality and put George's instead of Martha's. But John Cook actually typed Martha's.
I see. So page 1 has actually been altered. This is not an actual accurate screenshot because the word Martha was changed to George's and the O was drawn a pentagram inside, correct?
It's not a pentagram, you oxymoron. If you know nothing about the craft, shut the hell up. Just saying.
I just can't believe you called him an oxymoron.
I mean, am I wrong?
Two things that go together but shouldn't. His nose and his face.
Or his brain.
You have to have one to talk about it. In my opinion, he doesn't. Anyway. I just can't believe you called him an oxymoron. That's the best. Like, that's a new nickname.
And page 2 is correct, unaltered, where it says Martha's in a pentagram.
Right. My question is, to be clear, page 1 has an image and of an altered screenshot or comment, correct? So he's trying to say that they altered the information because they redacted a name and put something else. Does sorry. Does Oxy mean he's a clean moron? That one remains to be seen.
He's definitely not clean.
I can attest, Oxes are morons.
Okay, see,
Okay, back to the
hold please.
yeah, they will have the problem with this exhibit unless they use the original. And yeah, her depo has been read on other channels. Yeah, I know. And that's one of the reasons that like I reached out and I asked the source directly for this deposition because it's not on it's not online. And I didn't do that with Shara's depo. I asked the people who had it for it and I never got a response, but I can understand why they didn't but I never got Shara's depo. So try asking for it, ask Hales for the depo and you will not get it. I did email someone and ask directly the source directly for this one and he responded to me and he had it sent to me. So I did not do that with Shara's. So that could have possibly been my own problem. They do say that they have an unaltered original though. And I know if they have the modified and she's the one who modified it, they have yeah, oxymoron means sharply foolish in Greek. In English, generally we say it's two things that don't go together. Like yeah. The copies of the deposition are not free. Yeah, even when they're on when they're online, they're not free. The last deposition cost me, I think, $4. Yeah, military intelligence, two things that don't go together. Like, you got it. So, but once you have a copy, and you could pass the copy around and not pay extra for it. So this is a certified copy. So
I'm still really annoyed that they keep calling a star a freaking pentagram.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Huge difference.
Oh, yeah. And I think Jeremy's just doing it because
he's mocking him.
Yeah, or he's just repeating back to not cause an argument. Either one.
Either or.
Yeah,
or both.
Pacer charges by the page up until $3. However, this last group of documents cost me almost $7 because even though it was on one document, like on one file, it still charged it as 4 individual documents. So instead of it just being $3, it was, a 22-page document, a 5-page document, a 10-page document, whatever that. So yeah, it's Pacer has been really weird lately when multiple things are dropped. If you don't click the right button, you'll get charged for all 4. So
I've lost my
10, line 10.
Page 1 is changing of the day for confidentiality, nothing else, no context, no other words in a pentagram, and offensive letter.
Okay, so Martha George Risk took the screenshot and somehow changed the word Martha's to George's, and then this is the result what we get. This is exhibit, right?
Correct.
So Martha is able to make pretty good looking fake screenshots, isn't she? Oh my god.
Oh, no, he did not.
Yeah, and Pacer bills by the quarter. So thank you for the super chats that have covered my Pacer bill, which was like $43.
Did he really just try to?
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Oh, objection form, argumentative. You can answer. I say no. The font obviously isn't the exact same font. It doesn't look like anything else. So in regards to saying that's talent, I would say absolutely not. What she did was gave that to the attorney to protect her own privacy, and looks like with a pen, as you've stated earlier, put a pentagram inside the letter O. And if you call that incredible work, well, I'm sorry, it doesn't work for me. It looks like she was trying to not be offensive and protect her own first name.
Okay, so how was strike that? I'll move on.
But we do
No question pending.
have the original.
No question pending. Exhibit 90, please. Exhibit 89. I jumped the gun because I asked about Angela Gleason. I was actually waiting for this. So you testified Angela Gleason has contacted you on a number of occasions.
Yes.
By email?
Yes, to my recollection, to my best recollection.
Yes, but for any one document, they don't bill over 30 pages. So if you have 100 and something page document, it will cost you a max of $3. That's the kicker with it. So or at least that's been my account.
Hashtag move on.
Yeah. Any SMSs?
What is an SMS?
In a
Wow.
phone message, text to text, phone to phone.
Well, I'm sure she has my number. To my recollection, she has never texted me.
If she did, would you have a call? A lot of the texts.
Absolutely.
Has she ever Facebook Messenger? Do you have Facebook Messenger conversations with Angela Gleason?
Again, to my recollection, I would have to go back through all my messages. I can't recall right now if she's ever messaged out through Facebook.
What was your first contact with Angela Gleason of any kind?
I don't recall.
Do you recall what form it took?
I don't recall.
Have you had live phone calls with her?
No.
Never?
Never.
Never a live conversation on the phone with Angela Gleason?
No.
Never met her in person?
No.
So it's all just written messages.
If she is contacted, it's been through written messages.
And it's your testimony that she provided this Exhibit 89.
No.
Who provided this to your knowledge?
This would be a screenshot, but most likely Martha took it.
Do you know the original post it was under?
Metadata still exists. We'll provide it.
Do you know any other comments that appeared above it or below it?
The metadata. The metadata still exists. It never goes away. We can provide it.
And how come they couldn't be included in the exhibit to show the context of this supposedly defamatory statement?
Objection to form. Argumentative. You can answer.
And this goes to what he said before, where he said that the statements were defamatory, and this one he said supposedly defamatory. So it's like, did he realize what he had said earlier? Or did he think that one was defamatory and this one's not? There's the $1 million question.
I think it's just bubbles being bubbles. Not the brightest crayon in the box.
There we go.
My best guess is Martha never knew that it needed to be, to know that we were going to be in federal court, and we asked about this, but the metadata exists. We can provide all of that, even though it's been deleted by John. The metadata always exists on Facebook, and we can retrieve it at any moment in time. And we can get all comments before, all comments after as well.
Slow down, please. Is your testimony that this contains a defamatory statement about you?
Quote, he makes his followers do his dirty work. That's why we call him the coward of Levy County. Unquote. This is in complete total reference to me.
And what is the false factual comment?
Quote, he makes his followers do his dirty work. Unquote.
Do you have any interpretation of those words, what they mean?
The defamatory statement is dirty work. It would mean that I'm doing something inappropriate, wrong.
So your testimony...
Not good, dirty, not clean. It could go on and on and on in regards to what this... Scroll.
Sorry, I was posting Uncle Frank's Give, Send, Go that was set up in the chat.
Oh, we got it done? Sweet.
Yeah, Yoda sent it to me.
Okay, good deal. What this reference is by John Cook, your client.
Understood.
So whether that be, let's see, we've looked at quite a bit of defamatory statements already from John. I mean, we could look at those.
Mr. Hales, you've answered the question. My next question is this. So you claim that this is defamatory based on your speculation as to what dirty work is being referred to, correct?
Mr. Shockett. Objection form argumentative. My claim is it's defamatory because it's false.
But what is the dirty work that is being referred to here?
We'll have an opportunity to ask John Cook on the stand.
But you're claiming that this is a false statement because that caused you damage, and so I'm trying to ascertain the words, quote, he makes his followers do his dirty work, unquote, caused you damage. Well, yeah. A
You
false statement
asked-
posted as a face statement of fact. Thank you. Yes, thank you, Josh. Oh, yeah.
You asked multiple questions in a row. Can you focus in on one question?
How does the words he make his followers do his dirty work causes you damage? Because okay, can I answer that? Because it attributes to the fact that everything that anybody does, so anybody who watches Jeremy Hales of any video and does something, that Jeremy is the one who directed it to him. That's not true. Like anybody who watches me could go out and do anything on any particular day. That doesn't mean I told them. But that says that Jeremy is telling people to do stuff. So, oh yeah. Sorry, I just have a problem with this. Like, yeah, Bubbles is stating the case for the Hales. Yes, Bubbles stated on record they are defamatory. And it could be interpreted that way, couldn't it? Like, I just, who? You want to read line 11?
Yeah, hold on. I was answering one of Megan's mods asked me a question, so I had to answer her.
Oh.
Wait, what? 11?
11.
I can provide screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of individuals who have said they will no longer support Jeremy Hales, Martha Risk, WhatTheHales, which is all over the internet right now. So I can provide not hundreds, but thousands.
Steven, that is... Sorry.
16.
Okay. Now, so for any one of those people on Facebook that says, quote, we're no longer supporting WhatTheHales, what would that be the extent of your evidence of damage?
Objection form, you can answer. It's competency.
Oh, sweet Jesus. What would be the extent of your evidence that somebody wrote, I no longer support WhatTheHales?
Same objection to form. No.
What else? Would you then contact the individual and ascertain how much they spent on WhatTheHale stuff, then ascertain that they've stopped spending money?
Same objection to form.
Is that what you're planning on doing to establish losses as a result of he makes his followers do his dirty work?
Same objection to form.
And it's not just one, it's all the statements combined.
This next part is great.
I'm getting a migraine. We're going to have to call this a... Oh,
I told you reading his bubbles makes your head hurt.
oh my goodness. Even the last one didn't do this. Like,
Really? It killed me.
yeah, Bubbles
We'll
is the
just
best.
finish.
You and Donald had the same idea. Bubbles is the best lawyer Jeremy never had to pay for.
We'll just finish this page and then we'll do it a reschedule to finish it.
I was hoping they would come up with they would take a break with a good stopping point, but apparently that's not the case.
So no bubbles tantrum storming out on this one? At least not yet.
Not yet. Do you understand my question?
Honestly, no.
Okay.
You're just going in circles. Yeah, that's what narcissists do.
And that's why I'm getting a headache.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think I'm like reading, and I'm reading some of these questions, and even I'm like, what? What?
That's why I was like, "Are you sure you want to be Bubbles?"
Oh, so
Interpreting.
you just testified that there are thousands of people on Facebook that have written they no longer support What the Hales because of things that they've read and heard from my clients, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Bubbles is too afraid of the judge to do something truly stupid last time. And you know what? I don't think that's limited to Bubbles. I would be afraid to do something stupid in front of the judge too. Everyone stops before it gets spicy.
Wait, like it's what page does it get spicy on?
Yeah. I am doing a stream tonight at 9, so if you want to just hijack that Sunday night stream to a Bubbles reading part 2.
That's up to you. I'm down.
We could finish that tonight.
But remember, tonight it'll have to be after What the Hell's.
Yeah, it's at 9.
Okay. So yeah, I'm down.
All right. I think we'll stop right here. I'll leave it up on my computer so that we know exactly where we stopped. Yeah, I'm doing a stream at 9. I usually do a Sunday night unhinged where we just talk about anything and everything. We look at viral stupid videos, but this is making me want to be unhinged.
This is pretty freaking unhinged at this point.
This is unhinged. So I am just going to look at where we can redirect. Is Skipper live?
He's supposed to be.
Yeah, he is. We'll go over to Skipper. Tell him I said hi. I might be over there for a second, but then I got to take some Excedrin migraine because this is I plead the fifth. Yes, and if you want, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth merch. Hold
Rosalind
on.
Duke.
Yes, Rosalind Duke on her. I thought I had it. Oh, it's on my social media one. I saved it.
Pull up my YouTube that way I can be sent with everybody.
Oh yes, don't forget the picture I wanted to show. Yes, that is very true. This is Rosalind's Rosalind Duke's merch store. She has stuff. I will show you. Let me stop sharing this screen.
Sorry.
But she has this is her store because Rosalind is like I owe everything I know about anything with as far as design thumbnails. My thumbnails aren't the greatest, but if you compare them to before Rosalind Duke helped me to now, they are I've gone back to some of my old videos and actually shared them or changed them because they sucked so bad. So this is Rosalind Duke's merch store. She has the I have anxiety over the roof tumbler. The calm down. I'm not a cat. Rosalind has it all. She also has the so what and oh, is her you're muted. Yes, she has the you're muted. So oh, Blue Bucket. Yeah. Oh, she's the one with the Scummy Cahunt candle. So this is all of her stuff. So she is the yeah. If you want anything, I have anxiety over the roof from a sticker to a cell phone or a laptop case. She's your girl. Like, oh, and this is the home of the Giffies. So Rosalind is the best. She's helped me from the very start of my channel. So all right, guys, I have to get going. You have to wonder if the judge got them in court because he couldn't believe Bubbles was actually a lawyer. That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted to share with you guys was somebody sent me a picture, and I have to did you Google Voice? I have to ooh, hi. I got information that I will send you about Uncle Frank's funeral. I have a picture from the day that Yoda got married.
Aww.
So, yeah.
He was so handsome.
Yeah. He walked Yoda's wife down the aisle. So,
Aww.
yeah. Yeah. That's our Uncle Frank. So, yeah. Rest in peace, sir. All right. That's what I wanted to show you. That was sent to me a little while ago.
You just had to end the stream with making us all cry, huh?
Yeah, right before we go over to Vet Nation. Don't tell him I made you cry.
I'm telling Yoda you made me cry. I'm not telling Mike.
All right. Y'all have a great day. I will see you over there, and then I'm going to take some Excedrin migraine because Bubbles just gave me a
Migraine?
yeah.
Someone in the chat told you to take some anti-bubbles medicine.
Anti-bubbles. All right. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you tonight at 9:00.
Bye, guys.